Welcome to this week's episode of the Rangeless Travel Podcast. We're your favorite adventure travel couple. I'm Britt, my partner Ryan, and every Tuesday we share stories and tips to help inspire you to book that next trip. This week, we're your gift guides. For the adventure traveler, the budget backpacker, to the vanlifer in your life, we're going to guide you through some of the gifts that would be great for them, as well as some ways to communicate as the adventure traveler who's probably changing their life or living an alternative lifestyle, how to communicate you don't want to do gifts or you don't want to do big gifts.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes that can be an emotional conversation in some people's families, as well as we're going to talk about dancing that line between consuming what you need as well as some of the things you want without the overconsumption and just the buying to buy, which I think we've all fallen into at one point or another. Let's start first with no gifts. No gifts. And how to communicate with your family and friends that you're not giving gifts this year and you don't want any gifts.
No. That's probably that depending on who you're talking to, that can be a pretty easy conversation, or it can be like some people can get upset by that.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, especially if you're just communicating with them like kindly. I think that's the most part. You have to communicate with them kindly and like far enough advance. Like if you communicate with someone now, be like, hey, listen, like I don't want to do gifts this year. A lot of people will feel relieved. They're like, oh,
thank God
you don't want to do gifts. Oh, I didn't want to either, but I didn't want to sound like an ass for not wanting to do gifts.
Yeah, but the thing, especially with like backpacking and van life and alternative living, is you don't have space for pretty much anything of excess.
Yeah, and you also don't have space for things that like only serve one function.
Yeah, everything has to be multi-purpose and really high quality to stand up to the like
wear and tear
of being on the road. And then also like you need to pare it down to be as light and as small as possible. So typically what you end up doing is you have very little things, but you spend months researching in advance and picking the exact one that you need or want.
That's going to fit into your lifestyle, which makes it very difficult for someone else to get you that, right? Because even if you're like, oh, I'm looking for something like a pair of hiking boots.
Right.
Or a pair of adventure sandals, because I know like you love your adventure sandals. You're the person who's going to get them or use them. Like we spend months. Like there's huge things like Chacos versus Tevas.
Yeah.
Like people have giant debates. It's very controversial.
I don't have either one of those. I have Bedrock Cairns.
Yeah, I have zero shoes. They're all like, and everyone's so particular about the things that they like. So when you're telling someone, no, I don't want any gifts.
Yeah, and it's very impersonal to be like, I want this exact thing and send it to someone. That's very impersonal. It's not like, it's defeating the entire purpose of, I feel like, Christmas time.
Yeah, and gifts in general, like whether you're celebrating Christmas or you're celebrating Hanukkah or you're selling whatever, a holiday, or it's a birthday or whatever it is that they're buying for. I don't know, I think part of the gift is it's like kind of less about what you're receiving and it's more about the other person thought of you.
Yeah.
Like the other person saw someone, saw something, it made them think of you, and then they got it and they wrapped it up and it was the time and the thought and like the love that went into it. Rather than just like, this is what I want, go buy it for me.
Yeah.
That feels yucky to me.
Yeah.
It feels really yucky. But now, I think, and that's true, like it's hard because like when you tell people, okay, like no gifts, right? Like I don't want gifts. I don't want anything. I'm not going to get you anything.
That's where some people can get upset and they're like, oh, you don't care about me. You don't think about me. You don't have time for me anymore that you're traveling. It's a different lifestyle. Like it's not like you have like a house where you've got like different rooms to put all this stuff, like it's and like your day-to-day is no longer like this routine or anything like that. There's very little free time, like especially when you're working on the road. It's just I feel like if someone says they don't want to do gifts and like they don't want to receive or give gifts, I think that's like, and say it in a respectful way, I think you should respect that.
I think you respect it too. I also think that when it's communicated, sometimes people need a little bit more. They need to know why. And
But
I think this specific topic this year goes further than just the backpacker alternative lifestyle vanlifer community, because so many people this year, with the price of living skyrocketing, a lot of uncertainty with people's job security, with people's housing security, the prices of housing going up, the pricing of food, just the cost of living in general going so high so quickly. A lot of people aren't spending what they were. I mean, Black Friday just happened. Everyone was just sharing like videos of these like empty stores for Black Friday. And I know that's because a lot of people do online shopping now. And the deals aren't as good as they once were. But still, like, it's a little insane that within like 5 years, people went from fist fighting over a TV to the stores being absolutely empty and no one being in there. And I think it's budget. Like, people are on a lot stricter budget this year than some of the years past.
Yeah, of course.
Because
wages haven't gone up and the cost of living has gone up since COVID. It's like 20, 30% or something
and like
crazy.
And since COVID, like the world opened back up, but like we're not back to normal. Like nothing, there's things that feel back to normal, but the world and everyone in it has forever changed because we've all gone through this like a collective experience, this collected experience. And I think a lot of times, if you're living in a van or you're backpacking, some people go in with a remote job and they're making the same money they were making before. But a lot of people go in and they're starting a new like career path, or they took a pay cut because they've taken a remote job, or they're building a business.
Right.
Or maybe they do the work really hard and then travel.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, where you're traveling to, your US dollar or your euro
goes a lot further
somewhere else. So like they're looking at that like, oh yeah, but it's only like, a $30 spend. And you're like, yeah, but $30 is like 2 days in the road in Thailand.
Yeah.
$30 is...
For 2 people.
Yeah, $30 is a week's worth of accommodation on this island that I really want to go to. So things like that, the money value kind of changes. And all of a sudden, if you're looking at $30, like this is a week's worth of accommodation on this island I want to go to when I'm there, all of a sudden $30 is a lot more money than, what we're thinking.
Well, like I know that from my time backpacking through Southeast Asia, it definitely changed how I perceive like the $30 or like whatever amount of dollars. It's completely changed how I look at it and how much I value it. Whereas before, I didn't like money came and went, and it was like, I didn't really think about it too much. But now I'm definitely thinking about it a lot more.
And I don't think it's a bad thing because money does come and go. Like money's going to come in, money's going to go out. You know, you don't want to be in this mindset of like
scarcity.
Yeah, you want to be in a mindset of abundance. But if you're a young backpacker, because a lot of people go backpacking for the first time, they're like 18, 19, 20 years old. Like they're still a kid. Their frontal cortex has not developed, so they're a child, and they're gonna work, and like $30 is a lot of money to someone who's 18. Like university years, you're poor, whether you're in university or you're not. You're usually struggling for money. So I think it's also from like the other side of it to look at that person like with grace. And be like, hey, I'm really excited about what you're doing. Yeah, absolutely, it's fine. I'm not expecting anything. Anyway, I'm just excited for you. And sometimes those people will then say, but I still want to get you something. I feel like a lot of times that's usually like a family member or a really close friend who's like family, so like your chosen family. And they're like, yes, but I want to support you, and like this is the time to do it, whether it's a holiday or your birthday. Right.
So then for that, I would suggest less personalized like gifts, not a material thing. I would say like, for example, like an Airbnb gift card.
Yes.
Or like a Get Your Guide gift card.
Yes. So when we talk about giving gifts, like there's people that want to give gifts anyway to the adventurer. So this is for the person who has that adventurer in their life, has that person in their life that's living an alternative lifestyle, and they're like, I'm getting them a gift. This is what you get them. Experience.
Yeah.
So you might not know exactly where they're going. They might not know exactly where they're going, but a really good option is Get Your Guide, which is an app and a website. It's getyourguide.com. We're going to link all of this stuff below. So if you need some help or you have someone in your life you're buying for it, go to the links below and you'll be able to find this stuff. For experiences, everyone loves the gift of experience. So like tickets to a show or something is always amazing. And Get Your Guide is really easy because it keeps it open. So let's say they're going to Thailand or they're backpacking Europe or whatever they're doing, right? You can get them a Get Your Guide gift card, and they can then use that gift card wherever they are on whatever experience they choose.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah. Also, as far as experiences go, plane ticket gift cards.
But obviously with plane tickets, you have to know the general area of where they're going to be. Like if someone said they were going to the Philippines, like Cebu Airways is a great one because it's very expensive to get around the Philippines to the different islands and things like that, and the flights add up.
They do. They add up a lot.
And Cebu flies pretty much everywhere in the Philippines. Yeah. I think it's a national.
Yeah, Cebu Airways. But if they're going to Asia in general, Air Asia is always good. If you know you want to like help them out with their flight either out or their flight back home, depending on where you're from, just one of the big major airways.
Yeah. But that might be a bit, unless, like, that could be tricky because some of those airlines are more expensive at different times of year. They might not have a return ticket booked. And if you're tying them into one, I guess it would save them money in the long run.
But it's the same airlines are going back to the same places. So if you know they're flying back to fill in the blank, you know, if you know they're flying back into the Northeast, it's only a couple of airlines that are going from there to the Northeast. So you can get them on that airway. Like United is going to go.
American, Delta, JetBlue. Probably.
No. JetBlue doesn't really go there.
Oh, no?
No, but like the Middle Eastern airlines do. So like Qatar Air does. You can do a Qatar Air, things like that. Yeah. It just takes a little bit more research. Another one besides experiences is subscriptions. So if you have an adventure in your life, subscriptions are a great way to do it because we tend to have a lot of subscriptions for different things and they add up. So a good example of that is National Parks Pass.
Yes.
They're good for a year. It's like $80, I think.
And it covers all their entry fees.
All the entry fees into all the national parks in the U.S.
For 1 year.
For 1 year.
And that's per vehicle. So that will work for 2 people and dogs or whatever. And it's per vehicle. So that's great.
Also, if they're doing a van life situation, you have a Vanlifer. Harvest Host is a great one. It's an app that tells you all the different breweries and wineries and different businesses that you can park overnight. So if you know that they're going to be traveling the U.S., and I believe Harvest Host goes into Canada and into Mexico as well, they get access to all these like safe places that they can park. So I think that Harvest Host is a great one.
Also KOA, Campgrounds of America. If you want to splurge on a campground for van lifing.
Yeah, but that would be a gift card. That's not that's not a subscription. We're talking about subscriptions.
Right.
Yeah. World Packers. So if they're a budget backpacker and they're going to be backpacking around anywhere in the world, a World Packer subscription is fantastic because it's going to tell them all of the work exchange programs all over the world. And for the work exchange, how they usually work is you get room and board to work like part-time at their establishment, and it will give them access to be able to apply to all different ones. So it doesn't matter where they're going.
Right.
And it's great for budget travelers because it's going to let them stay on the road longer and like explore more places in depth and make a lot of friends. I can't recommend work exchanges anymore. Like do work exchanges if you're going to be backpacking and you're a budget traveler. As well as that is a subscription to Trusted House Sitters. Trusted House Sitters is a website that you can put your house as well as like, it's like pet sitting as well a lot of times. And people let you go and take care of their house. Usually you take care of their gardens, you take care of their dog or their cat, and you get to stay in their home. Right. And they're not there. They're usually on vacation. Yeah, there's a lot of them in Europe. In Europe, there's a ton because...
And Australia too, I believe.
And Australia too, yeah, because you get those bigger holidays because here in the U.S. we get like 3 days vacation. But in a lot of European countries, you get like a month every year. So people will take their time and they go traveling for a month or they go for 2 weeks. So there'll be a lot of times where they're like, well, we need someone to take care of our dog. And there'll be opportunities for you to go in, stay in their home, take care of their dog or their cat or, you know.
That's a good one. And then one more one for van life, especially in the US, is a Planet Fitness Black Card, which is like $25 a month.
Yeah.
And that gives them like free access to showers, a gym, wherever they go. There's Planet Fitnesses all over the country.
Yeah.
There's thousands of them. They're in every town pretty much. Yeah. So that's another really useful one for people who are van lifing, because it's like you have limited water supply and not everyone has a shower in their van.
Yeah, most people don't. And it's nice to be able to go, plus you work out, and it's good. Also, it's a couple more good ones, especially if you are a worrier and you're buying for your adventure travel child in your life.
Right.
Safety Wing travel insurance, or travel insurance in general. We use Safety Wing, so we'll put our code down below. But get them travel insurance, and you don't have to get it for their whole trip. Let's say you only know that they're flying out and they're going to be in Thailand for 2 months. And you know they're going to be in Thailand for 2 months. You can get them the first 2 months
in Thailand.
In Thailand for travel insurance, and now you know that they're taken care of. Or you can even get it for like the big 3. Like if they're going to Southeast Asia, they're probably going to end up in Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos. I guess that's the big 4. They're going to end up in those places, maybe all 4 of them. So just get them travel insurance.
Yeah.
And now they're covered and you don't have to worry.
And one good thing about Safety Wing is it covers motorcycles.
Yeah, which is a big one because you end up on scooters a lot.
Yeah.
And it's good to be covered for scooter accident, because some of the other travel insurances do not cover adventure or like risky behavior.
Yeah.
And they consider scooters risky behavior. Another one, if you're the van lifer and you have a van life person that you're buying for, AAA.
Yes.
A AAA subscription for the year. There's 2 different levels of them. I suggest getting like I think it's the gold level or whatever it is.
It's like 1 step above the base level.
It's 1 step above the basic, because they'll tow you really far. And sometimes if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're gonna need the extra tow mileage just in case.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a gift for the person receiving it, but also for the person giving it, because now they have a little bit of peace of mind.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-for gift. The last kind of gift, what's the word I'm looking for? Group?
Category?
Category. Yeah, category would be the word. Is gift cards.
Yes.
So gift cards are great. I know we mentioned gift cards to an airline, but also gift card, and we talked about gift cards a little bit just in experiences in general, but gift cards to Airbnb.
Airbnb is a good one.
We talked about Get Your Guide.
KOA, Campgrounds of America.
Yeah, that's where
that's for van life.
That's for van life. That's a good one. I know that like sometimes gift cards can feel like a little impersonal. And
they can.
You know, when I was talking.
But they give flexibility. That's the benefit to gift cards. They give you the flexibility to use them whenever you want.
They give the flexibility. But you know, when I was talking before, I say like giving gifts is kind of like a personal thing. I know in my life, we usually only get gifts if we see them in person. We don't really like do like mailed gifts or like shipped gifts. And one of the reasons is like I grew up and my family like always talks through the gifts. Like gifts are opened slowly, and it's like we do cluster gifts.
There's a story.
Are you a cluster giffer?
Not really.
Okay, so we're always cluster giffers, where there's like cluster gifters. There's a tongue twister. Cluster gift givers. Maybe that's easier to say. And you get you almost make like a gift basket.
Okay.
Like you cluster a bunch of small stuff together, and you're always like, there's always like a dialogue through like the thought process behind each item in there. So like each item like comes together.
Story.
Yeah, the story. We're big storytellers in my world and my family. And gift cards are good for cluster gifts. So let's say, you know they're going to, I don't know, like someone's a van lifer, right? Mm-hmm. So you might cluster gift them like a couple like smaller denominations of gift cards. So you might like gift card them a coffee shop that's like all over the place where they plan on going.
A major chain.
Yeah, and then it might be like, because in case the Wi-Fi isn't good where you're going, you can find good Wi-Fi. And then you might give them a gift card for gas. So it's like, so your tank doesn't run dry.
Right.
You might give them a gift card for like groceries and be like, so your tummy doesn't go empty. And you cluster them all together.
Right.
And it's kind of like this this like a little this little package.
It shows that you put thought into it, and
yeah, so it's more than just like I got you a gift card to Walmart. Like, you know, it's kind of more of a thought. So it's like, oh, I got you like $10 to Walmart, so your tummy doesn't go hungry. I got you $10 in gas station, so your tank. You know, it's like this whole story. So it's kind of this whole, you know, this whole thing all together.
Right.
And I think like that's cute.
That's nice.
But as far as gift cards go, like I like them, but I like them when they're like added to something. And then I think thrifted gifts, if budget's like something that when you're giving gift is a little bit of an issue, I think it goes really good with like thrifted gifts.
Right.
To like put a little gift card in there. I don't know. I just like it. It gives flexibility.
You do like thrifted gifts.
I love thrifted gifts so much. I love receiving thrifted gifts because it makes me feel really special. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, someone went and like searched and they found something and they thought of me, and it's just like they put so much time and energy and like love into the gifts. Same with homemade gifts. I feel the same way with homemade gifts. Into this, and they thought of me, and it makes me feel really special. And then the same as I love getting thrifted gifts because I will think about, like, I'll see something that'll remind me of like a person, right? And then I'm like, oh, I gotta cluster this. Like, I gotta like put some things together. And it's just so much thought and like love and like kindness goes into it. So it's not just like consuming and it's not just buying to buy.
Yeah.
It's like consuming with thought and purpose and love. And I like that. I think it's sweet. Is there anything else for the person that's buying for the adventurer? I think that's it. So if you are the adventurer, right?
Yeah.
So, and people are like, no, I'm buying you a gift. I'm buying you a gift.
Yeah,
There's nothing you can do about it. And you are like, fine, buy me a gift. Obviously, suggest like all of the above from what we just talked about.
Right.
But additionally, make yourself an Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of yucky. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, oh, I registered for my birthday. Like, I don't know. I don't like it when I think about it too much.
Right.
But it makes it really easy for the person or the people in your life that are refuse to not buy you something, because now you can put the exact items on there that you need/want anyway, and you are probably going to buy yourself anyway, and now you don't have to like get something that you kind of don't want because they didn't get the right one.
Yeah.
And now you have this thing that you either are using and you don't really like it, or you're getting rid of that and like buying the same thing again and just kind of like over consuming that item. Just make yourself a wish list. Just make yourself an Amazon wish list and like be like, Mom, here's my link. You don't need to get everything on it. These are ideas.
Yeah.
That makes me think, you know how like, I feel like this is a universal experience. Every child's mom or dad or whoever their grown-up was like, what do you want for Christmas? And you were like, I need these sneakers. They're the coolest sneakers. They'll make me run so fast.
They light up and everything.
They light up. Yeah, they light up. I'll be like, it's a speed racer. Like, this is what I need. And then, like, Mom does not get the cool ones that you wanted.
Oh, no.
No. They're not the cool ones.
No.
I don't know what they did, but they found a different pair. Whether it's a different color combination because they were out of the ones you wanted, whether it was like they went to Payless instead of, or Kmart instead of like the whatever name brand you wanted.
We've all been there.
Yeah, whatever you want, right? And then you get to school and you were like made fun of.
You're roasted.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, you have the, and you're just like, my mom got them for me. Like, I have to wear them. That's universal right there.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like it is, but like as someone who is living an alternative lifestyle, it's like different. It's like with the phone charger or with the travel adapter or like the journal or like, you know, because things are very personal.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you don't have that many things because you're carrying everything on your back or you're fitting your whole life in like 2 cupboards in a van. The things you have to be so intentional. So what are the ways to make sure that the people who are dead determined on giving you a gift, you make sure that the gifts are the intentional items that you look on bringing into your life anyway?
Yeah.
We have, how many items do we have? 10?
5.
5. We have 5 items of of what we think are great gifts to both give and receive for the adventurer, alternative lifestyle person in your life.
But having said that, you still need to communicate with these people and find out if they already have one or if they have one that they prefer or all of this.
This is just our
personal choices.
First item.
First item is, this is my Clean Canteen. It's an insulated water bottle, 32 ounce because we like them a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And it's got the twist cap.
Which I like because it covers where you're drinking. So if you're walking through an airport or you're on an airplane, you're outside, it doesn't get like dirty and gross.
Right, yeah. This is one of the few that actually covers the mouthpiece. And it's got a stainless steel straw in the middle. We really like these.
We really like these. These are our number one water bottles right now. I have a Hydro Flask, which I love. And again, it has like the sip top. But I think our number one favorite water bottle right now is the Clean Canteen.
Yeah, and we looked through a bunch of water bottles before we made a decision on this one.
We went down a full rabbit hole. But again, water bottles are so personalized. So talk to the person.
There's so many out there, and people have so many different preferences.
So many opinions on water bottles. But Clean Canteen is our number one draft pick. Number two.
Number two is
Traveler's Journal.
Traveler's Journal. These are really nice.
That's the A5 size, which I prefer because it's a little bit bigger, but they make them smaller and they make them bigger than this.
Yeah, these are leather bound, and they come, and we have some stamps from Japan in here, but these are removable. All of these pieces inside are removable. So you go on a trip somewhere, you make all your notes in this and your memories, and then you can change them out as you go. So you don't need to get new notebooks all the time. You just change out the little pieces, the inserts.
Yeah.
And it's really nice, and we use them all the time. We use them for like I have 3 in here. I have one for work, I have one for like general notes, and then I have one for like all my memories and stuff.
Yeah, I like them too because you can get different. The inserts have different kinds of pages. So I like a lined page for like work and notes and things like that. And then I like a blank page because I like journal a lot to like journal. And then sometimes I like the graph paper. They also have the bullet journal. So it's whatever you prefer.
I think you can get like week planners in there.
Yeah, you can get week planners. You can get whatever you want. And you just, A5 is a good size because it's a very common notebook size. So it's very easy to find inserts.
Yeah.
Number three.
Number 3 is
Universal Travel Adapter.
Yeah, these ones especially are really good because they're so compact. You don't need to like add pieces to it that could get lost. Everything's like contained within one. So you got all the different versions on here, everything. But the main thing is it has a surge protector, like fuse in it. So you don't, if you plug in some of these countries, they get a lot of brownouts, they get a lot of power surges.
They get lots of power surges.
Some places it's very, very like non-reliable electrical, and it can ruin your electronics. So like your laptops or your
camera chargers, your phone.
All of that. You don't want to risk your electronics.
This is a really good one. It will be linked in our Amazon storefront. That's going to be down below.
And also it has, if you're feeling friendly or if you have a bunch of stuff that you need to charge, 4 USB ports on the bottom and a USB-C on the side. So and it doesn't even take up the plug that you're using. You can plug straight into this too. So like if you're in a hostel or something, you can share your USB ports with your bunk mates or whatever, or they can plug their thing in behind and you don't have to steal a whole outlet for it.
Yeah, because that's like one of the things like in hostels. A lot of hostels, a lot of newer hostels especially now, you get a plug in your bunk.
Right.
It's usually something that they advertise.
Some of the older ones, they only have a couple plugs in the whole room. And there could be a bunch of people in there.
And everyone's fighting because everyone needs their phone charged specifically. So if you have like a phone, like us, we work on the road, so we have like phones, cameras, laptops,
everything.
Gimbal, drone. We need mics. We have to charge all of it, and like we don't want to steal every single.
Yeah. So we make do with one of these each, and that pretty much covers all of our stuff that we need to charge. Some people are godsends and they bring a whole power strip with them when they travel, but we don't have space for that.
I've traveled with a power strip in the past, and like it's a game changer. But if you have something like this where there's 4, 5, 6, there's like 6 outlets in there, so you're usually pretty fine with that.
These are good. Okay, what's next? What else have I got in here? This is sunscreen,
but solid sunscreen.
This is solid, so it can go in my carry-on. It's called Abib, A-B-I-B.
It's Ryan's number one favorite. It's
this
Korean
is my
brand.
favorite one. It is Korean. It is not Risei, so I don't use it when I'm in the water. But this goes on like clear, and it's really light and smooth, and it's SPF 50, and I love it. I use it pretty much every day when I was out in Asia. I kept it in my little bum bag, and I just keep it on. And this has lasted me 3 months. No,
Yeah.
almost 6 months of age. I didn't really wear it in Japan, but
No,
the
but we
weather was
also had
cold there.
other sun creams as well, and like this isn't a body that's
But this was my
a face.
go-to for day to day,
Yeah.
and I really, really liked it.
It's really nice.
It's really good, and
It's
it's
really
kind of pricey, but I think it's worth it.
And then our last one
Is
some sort of day pack
yes. So we have two options
or a
here.
packable bag.
I have like an ultralight, like
There's a
backpack.
Kodo,
This is a
Paxi.
Kotopaxi. Like these are super light. They can fold up to nothing, and then they can carry quite a bit of stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
And also this here is a packable backpack, which packs up this small, but then when you open it out, it's pretty much the same size as this one. Those are invaluable when you're traveling because you got to get groceries, you got to go and get stuff. You
got to do your laundry.
Do laundry.
Sometimes you just go down to the beach for the day. It's a beach
Yeah,
bag.
and it's nice. You can just throw this in your bag, and if you need extra storage, you can open it up and put stuff in it.
Yeah.
And it's really, really useful.
It's nice to have, and they're super versatile.
Yeah, but again, before you go buying things for people, you have to talk to them and figure out.
Yeah.
They might have ones that they already prefer, or maybe they're looking at one
Or
that
maybe they don't like that and they prefer like a tote bag.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different variations, and everyone for what they want and what they need is so specific.
Yeah.
And so individual to the person that at the end of the day, to buy someone a good gift or to buy someone a good gift or to receive good gifts and gift giving in general, I think it boils down to listening to the person. Because I know me, the moment someone's like, well, what do you want? I'm like,
Yeah, I can't.
Nothing.
I can't remember.
Nothing. I
have everything
I
I
have
ever need.
everything I ever need. I never need to buy anything again. It's like the same thing when someone asks you, like, what do you do for fun? You're like, I don't like fun. I don't like fun. I've never
heard
had
of it.
fun. Never met fun. Who is fun? Don't know them. But then it's like, no, I do all kinds of things for fun all the time. Like, I don't know why I'm this way. But it's the same when someone asks you, what do you need? What do you want for traveling? Like, what do you want as a gift? What do you want for your birthday? Nothing. I want nothing. I need nothing. But sometimes there are some things that you know you're going to buy, and like that person wants to give you something. So like, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's listening, but I think it's listening to the people around you as well, because a lot of times people will tell you what they want and what they need without realizing. Like in just normal conversations, they'll tell you. They'll say like, oh yeah, I'm going backpacking. I've been looking for a good backpack. I went to, you know, REI. I tried on like 15, and you go, yeah, which ones did you like?
Yeah.
You know, and they're gonna start, well, I like this one and this one, but I just don't know. You know, people will tell you. Just listen when they talk.
Yeah.
Just listen when they talk.
That's it.
Now, the last thing I kind of want to wrap up with on today's podcast, and this goes with everything we talked about, is the difference between overconsumption and like getting the things you want and the things you need. Because I think that today everyone, I mean, for a while there was so much emphasis on minimalism. You can only have 15 items of clothing in your closet, and that's what a minimalism capsule wardrobe is.
Right.
And I kind of don't like that. Here's why. Because everyone has different needs. Everyone does different things. Everyone has different, you know, hobbies and desires and all this stuff, right? And different lifestyles. And I feel like it demonizes having things, and it demonizing wanting things. And I
Right.
don't think that that's something to be demonized. I think that's something that is human, and it brings you happiness, and it brings you joy, and it's okay to want things, and it's okay to get the things you want. Like, you should buy the things that you want. You should also buy the things that you need, you know? It shouldn't be something that's demonized because it's like, oh, you have all of that. Well, I travel in a 20-liter backpack. You travel in a 55. Oh, that's so much stuff. Like, leave it alone. Like, leave it alone.
Yeah.
And then I think around the holidays, we're influenced a lot that like we need to buy things. And all year on social media, you need to buy things. You need to have this. I know personally, like, on social media, I get all the time like these women doing like $200, $300 like Sephora makeup hauls like every week. Like, that's not normal. Let's de-influence a little bit. Like, it's not normal to spend $300 at Target every week. It's not normal to get a $7 latte every single day of the week. I feel at that point it's just overconsumption, and it's just buying to buy, and that there's probably some deeper issues at play, or they're doing it for a job. Remember, the people that are doing these hauls every week
are getting paid by the brands.
They are getting paid to do it. It's their job. It's their job to do it.
Yeah.
So remember that. You are okay if you're not spending $200 at Target every week. Just a little bit of de-influencing there. And I think that's what it comes down to as well when it comes down to like buying people gifts. If someone says, no, I do not want anything, please do not buy me anything, I think the only respected thing to do is to listen to them.
Yeah, to respect that.
And to respect them. And it's a personal boundary. And I was once told, if you put up a personal boundary, and this was a therapist that told me this, if you put up a personal boundary and the person does not respect your boundary and you put it up kindly and explained why kindly, and the person does not respect that boundary, they do not respect you. And now it is not, their emotions are not your responsibility, and the way that they reacted is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to put your own personal boundaries up and to convey them kindly to those around you.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add about consumerism and overconsumption?
I think the one thing I wanted to say was like Christmas and gift giving and all of that, like for me at least, it's really centered around like kids, you know, like when like that magical time for Christmas, that age when, you know, all of that.
All of that, you mean Santa Claus?
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and the elves and the magic of the holidays.
Yeah, but like if you have kids in your life, then you gotta get them something for Christmas.
Absolutely.
You know,
and then everything we say goes completely out the window because it's kids.
Yeah, we're talking about what we're saying is adult to adult. Like
Yeah.
that, you know, that's what we're talking about. Like as adults giving gifts, not like for kids, you know, at Christmas time.
Yeah, kids are completely different.
Yeah.
Buy the kids in your life things for Christmas.
Right.
But again, you don't have to spend a lot of money. It doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's probably my only caveat to that.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it for this week's episode of the Rangeless Travel Podcast. Again, we are your hosts, Britt and Ryan. If you want more from us, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. If you want more information and more guides on gift giving from us, please let us know, and we will gladly give you some more gift ideas. Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.